Why did you guys break up? Ah, shit. What'd you do?
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Was it you?
It was life.
It's life.
Accountability.
See, I like you. See, that's what I'm saying.
Did you mess up?
Yeah, a few times. You know, we all make mistakes.
Okay. All right. Did you regret it?
I mean, nah.
No, but you're young still. You know what I'm saying? And that is like, probably, that was your first and probably only real relationship.
King Combs, son of renowned music mogul Shah Diddy, has been making headlines following his recent court appearance, which has sparked public interest in light of Diddy's arrest. Critics suggest that despite Diddy's success and influence in the music industry, he hasn't set a positive example for his children. Do you believe the allegations against Christian Combs reflect his upbringing under Diddy's influence, or could there be other factors at play?
I mean, I regret doing, some bad things, but I wouldn't say I regret, the relationship.
Right. Are you guys still friends? Do you still, happy birthday?
Nah, not really. But nah, shout out to her.
Okay.
She doing her thing, whatever she.
Allegations have emerged claiming that King Combs is facing legal action from a woman accusing him of inappropriate behavior.
His son, Christian, aka King Combs, is now being sued, just like his father is. A woman filed a lawsuit against King, alleging that in late 2022, right before New Year's Eve, King assaulted her on a yacht, specifically sexually assaulted. There was a party going on, she was working it, and she claims that he started to hone in on her, groping her, trying to kiss her. She claims that she tried pushing him off of him, telling her that she didn't want it, and she claims that he continued pressing on and pressing on. In her lawsuit, she actually claims to have audio recordings of this, and she includes transcripts of all of this, and in the transcripts, if they're believed to be true, they do in fact show her trying to tell Christian, hey, leave me alone, I don't want this, leave me alone. Eventually, she claims she got away from Christian. He kept hounding her. He told her, hey, take me to a place I can sleep on the yacht. She took him to a theater room, and this woman claims that's when he continued to try and sexually assault her, trying to force her to give him oral sex. Somebody eventually came in, she claims, and interrupted the whole thing, and she was able to escape it. But she also claims that she might have been drugged that night because there was alcohol going around. She suspects it might have been spiked. And this is kind of similar in nature to the lawsuit that Diddy is facing from one Rodney Jones. And interestingly, Rodney Jones is actually crucial to this lawsuit as well. This woman is claiming that Rodney Jones was on board that night and that the audio recordings she says she has, she got from Rodney Jones because apparently he was recording at the time. The woman suing Christian Combs is actually being represented by the same lawyer that Rodney Jones has. And we should note about this lawyer, he is actually facing a little bit of a hearing in New York right now. Basically, there's a judge that's looking into whether he has filed frivolous lawsuits that are meritless. So he's kind of in legal hot water there, separate from this whole case. Just something to keep in mind. Diddy and his team have denied all the allegations, as has Christian Combs. We'll keep you covered with the latest.
The lawsuit reportedly alleges that Combs engaged in inappropriate behavior and issued threats to get what he wanted.
Charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them.
Speculation has surfaced about Diddy's possible involvement in covering up the allegations against his son. Some reports suggest that Diddy may have used his influence and resources to protect King from further legal consequences.
Faces 5 sexual misconduct lawsuits, including a cover-up involving his son King Combs. Latest plaintiff alleges assault and cover-up. Grace O'Marque alleges King Combs groped and attempted to rape her in 2022, with Diddy accused of aiding and abetting. Diddy's properties raided in sex trafficking probe, as his legal team maintains his innocence amidst mounting accusations. Diddy and King Combs face charges of assault, battery, sexual assault, and emotional distress, despite denying previous accusations. For the latest updates on the Diddy and King Combs scandal, watch the full story on Genuine.
Critics argue that rather than confronting the allegations directly, the family has used their wealth and influence to avoid accountability. This has ignited a broader discussion about how celebrity status and power can shield individuals from facing the consequences of their actions.
So when I seen them, I said, yo, you remember me? And they was like, nah, I don't remember you. But like Christian and Justin are the ones that, like, to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like, Justin just hit me, I want to say, about a week ago? And he was like, yo, man, he said, he said, no matter what we go through, always remember that we stronger together. You know what I'm saying? And then it was one time that we was at a party in Vegas, and he said, yo, I don't know what you and my father going through. He said, but I remember that you was there. And I said, I was there where? He said, you was at every football game, Mom. So when he talked to me like that.
Recently, a woman has come forward accusing Christian Combs, son of Shad Diddy Combs, of inappropriate and potentially illegal behavior. She claims to have recordings of Combs involved in these wrongful acts. These serious allegations have garnered significant public attention.
2022, and allegedly Diddy aided all of this behavior. The woman alleged that there's audio recording of him allegedly assaulting her in the studio because they had a studio on the yacht where he was recording most of the time. And he was recording with Lil Rod. Apparently, Lil Rod has been collecting evidence the entire time he was with him. Now, I'm not going to say her last name, but her first name is Grace. You can go find her last name, though. Now, mind you, Grace didn't come with the party. Grace was a staff member on the yacht. And she said she has audio of her denying him as he continues to grope her. Now, this is what was allegedly said on the audio. Excuse me, you don't have to touch my leg like that. I'll move my leg where I want them to go. Grace is her saying this in the recording. If I want to do this, then I will. Don't touch my legs like that. Now, allegedly, Christian Combs wanted her to stay in the studio. Allegedly on audio, she's heard saying, I can't. I have to go down. I have to go down. She informed him that her boss would have to permit her to stay in the studio. So he was allegedly trying to keep her in the studio. And she's like, no, I got to go downstairs. I got to go back to work. Christian Combs allegedly say, then who can I talk to? I'm going to say, I request you right now. According to the suit. This is all according to the suit. Well, you can take your hands off me. This is Grace talking. Well, you can take your hands off my ass for the first thing, Grace responded. Grace says Christian pressured her to taking shots which she believes might be spiked. She says that the alleged assault had a deep impact on her mental health and her professional and personal life, and her boss hasn't believed the alleged allegations. Child, follow that YouTube.
One of the most alarming accusations against Christian Combs is that he allegedly drugged women. Reports indicate that the accuser claims he used drugs to manipulate and control her, highlighting broader cultural concerns about consent and the abuse of power in relationships. The gravity of these allegations has made this case especially troubling for many observers.
Now, I got this story from the Neighborhood Talk, and they was playing Sudden Like My Daddy. I thought that was...
But as of right now, there's really no information. They don't know the female name, and the female isn't giving out full details yet. So right now, it's just a lawsuit that's being out. Eventually, we'll get the details. When we get the details, I'll let y'all know. Now, currently, he's with model Raven Tracy, while his ex was Bria Hicks. Now, I don't know if he's an adult or not, but for P. Diddy to allegedly bring his son into the stuff that he's doing, it's wild, right? you should never bring that stuff where you lay your head, especially around your kids. The son allegedly at home, getting arrested with his brother. It just looks bad on him. Like, is he not thinking about his future at all? I'm talking about the father. Now, when it comes to him, he gonna have to take accountability for allegedly the actions that he did. But we allegedly know where this started from. What do y'all think about this? If any person sexually assaults anybody, they ask me to be in jail. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know, and follow the YouTube. Follow YouTube.
The public reaction to these allegations has been one of widespread shock and disappointment. At just 26, Christian Combs was seen as a rising star in the music industry and a member of a prominent family. His involvement in such serious accusations has led many fans to question his character. There is significant criticism directed at both Combs and his father, Diddy, for not taking greater responsibility in addressing the situation.
His son, Christian, is now being dragged into this whole mess. Allegations now directed at Christian, naming him for sexual assault, and Diddy as the defendant.
Yeah, so a woman filed a lawsuit for an incident that happened back in December 2022. So Christian Combs, Sean Puffy's son, he's being accused of sexual assault, but Diddy is being sued for liability because he was the person who rented this yacht. So the woman alleges that this all went down on a yacht back in December 2022, where Christian Combs was on the yacht. Of course, the young woman was working as like a bartender, like a server type of thing. So, you know, they have people on these yachts that typically provide like service, food, drinks, whatever. She alleges that at one point she was called into the studio, music studio, where, interestingly enough, Rodney Jones was there.
Who's also alleged stuff against Diddy as well. He's got his own suit.
Yes, so Rodney Jones was there and Christian Combs was also there, Christian's Diddy's son. She claims that Christian was like pressuring her to take a shot. She took a shot. She was trying to get out of the room, according to her lawsuit. And then she claims that at one point he like pressured her to take another shot. She managed to escape the room, but she did say that at that point she felt a little dizzy. But she claims that before she left the room that he was groping her. He was grabbing her ass, her breast, just touching her inappropriately. She claims that she was sexually assaulted in that instance, but she was able to leave at least that space. However, she then goes on to say that later in the evening, Christian Combs had retreated to like the cinema to sleep in, so like the movie theater on a yacht.
This yacht has a movie cinema?
And just to let you know.
And a recording studio?
To let you know how rich these people are.
Right. Okay.
They have a theater in the damn yacht.
And this Rodney Jones, who's in the studio, basically records everything, has audio running, has cameras running, because apparently Diddy likes his whole life being recorded. Cameras going the whole time, allegedly.
What you would think is like, why would you want cameras and recordings if you know
you're
sketchy
crimes,
alleged things are happening?
Right.
But because Rodney had these alleged recordings, the woman now has these alleged recordings, which she included and the transcripts in her lawsuit. But back to the cinema situation. So she alleged that later on in the evening, Christian was sleeping in the theater because there was no other space in the yacht for him to sleep in. She was then requested to go to that theater. She went to the theater and she claims that he then assaulted her again in the theater, and she was only able to escape in that situation because her partner, because they're assigned, I guess, partners if you're working on staff, her partner realized that she hadn't returned back to their room, and her partner went to look for her, and then that's when her partner discovered the alleged victim and Christian Combs in the theater together, and the victim was able to escape.
Wow.
Crazy situation.
It's a troubling situation. Many believe that given his privileged background, Christian should have used his platform more responsibly, and the disappointment from fans is clearly felt.
Y'all, let's get into something now. It seems like we just talked about Justin Combs and his crazy mama yesterday. Now we gotta talk about Christian Combs. So Christian Combs is being accused of, y'all, right here. He's been accused of sex assaulting and dragging a woman in LA. So there's a lawsuit in the works, actually. It hasn't been filed or whatever yet, but it's in the works. And so the victim is allegedly accusing him of all this stuff. And so I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it just seemed like it's a domino effect just happening, like from Diddy on down. I said, so I said, what else gonna go on? I said, I hope, son Quincy don't get caught up in nothing. But how y'all feel? Let me know.
Reports indicate that a man named Rodney Jones was allegedly present during the incidents involving Christian Combs and may have recordings of what occurred. the presence of a third party with potential evidence could be crucial to the investigation. Allegations of this nature, especially with corroborating recordings, often heighten the seriousness of the case.
If you're in an environment where those types of things are at least normalized, that it may appear normalized to the kids involved. But again, we don't know if Diddy's guilty or if Christian Combs is.
And this Rodney Jones, who recorded the audio, seems to be central to a lot of this.
Rodney Jones we thought Cassie was central to this Diddy fall. I think Rodney Jones, he got the recordings.
He's got the recordings.
He has all the literal evidence, alleged evidence in regards to these crimes.
Crazy, man. This is just going to get crazier too.
But his son is being accused. Now, his son, Christian King Combs, he's only 26 years old, and he was named in a lawsuit by a young woman, 25-year-old named Grace, who was working on a yacht in December 2022, when she says that Christian Combs assaulted her, that he's tried groping her, that he trapped her in a room, and that it wasn't until another crew member came to stop it that she was finally released. She said that she was forced to take a tequila shot, and there's actual audio of that incident where she asks, "Is this drugged?" And he says, "Take the tequila shot."
Okay, wait, where did the video come from?
So it's an audio that was, a transcript of the audio was included in the 31-page lawsuit. So apparently, I'm not sure who exactly was recording, but there is a recording out there.
Joining me very quickly, and I want to circle back to you, Kiala, about Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. Diddy, spinning. I mean, this guy is a master promoter. That's what he has done to become a media mogul with a net worth of around $1 billion. He spins it, right? And that's what he's doing right now. Every move he makes, in the public anyway, is for a reason. To Bernarda Villalona, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor at villalonalaw.com. Bernarda, thank you for being with us. Here's the reality.
Critics have invoked the phrase like father, like son to describe the situation between Diddy and Christian Combs. Diddy's own history of controversial behavior is well documented, with numerous allegations of mistreatment, manipulation, and involvement in troubling incidents over the years.
He's now officially been charged with sex trafficking. Because as you might have seen, he got arrested last night in New York, and this morning we learned that he's now facing 3 charges. Because on top of sex trafficking, he was also slapped with racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution. In the indictment that was unsealed this morning, it says that the allegations go back to around 2009, claiming that he, quote, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. And in order to do all this, it claims that he created a criminal enterprise whose members and employees engaged in sex crimes, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Also, in terms of the abuse he carried out, the indictment says that it was persistent and at times verbal, emotional, physical, and
Another aspect of this story, fueling intense speculation, is the belief that Diddy has leveraged his power and influence to cover up his son's alleged wrongdoings. Critics argue that Diddy's extensive resources and connections in the entertainment industry have enabled Christian to avoid facing the full consequences of his actions so far.
I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again.
Kim Porter, the mother of Christian and a longtime partner of Diddy, tragically passed away in 2018, with pneumonia officially ruled as the cause. However, rumors and accusations have persisted suggesting that Diddy may have mistreated her during their relationship, with some claiming his actions could have contributed to her untimely death. It's important to note that there is no legal evidence to support these claims.
Are not looking up for Diddy. In a resurfaced interview, his ex-bodyguard claims that Justin Combs allegedly is not his biological son. Before I get read in the comments, we are not talking about Quincy, we are talking about Justin. In the resurfaced clip, the bodyguard addresses how he thinks that Justin's dad is P. Diddy's deceased bodyguard, Wolf. Unfortunately, Wolf died in 2003. He was involved in a tragic Atlanta nightclub shooting. I'm gonna go ahead and just insert the clip of him saying that Justin is not Diddy's son here.
How your son look like your best friend? If he like it, I love it.
And I know they got different moms, so I get it.
Right. You don't see Diddy in it.
At all. Not even his build.
It's people who said that he looked like Wolf, but I wasn't there.
Okay. And by Wolf, you mean Anthony Wolf Jones?
Yeah, Anthony Wolf Jones.
Yes.
Misha says Diddy, Diddy says his. They happy? I'm ecstatic.
Is spilling tea, okay? And I can't say that this is not too far-fetched, because if you look at Christian and you look at the twins, they look just like Diddy. They're spitting images. I don't believe that either of them look like Diddy. Now, they could just take after their mom, but they don't have his build. They don't have any Diddy characteristics. So that's why I believe this might be a little bit true, just a little bit true. Diddy cannot catch a break. These SA cases and these cases about him just being a crazy, wild person keep coming to the light. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this entire situation. Let me know in the comments. Peace.
Diddy has a long history of controversy, including legal battles and accusations regarding his treatment of women. In light of the new allegations against Christian, Diddy's past actions are facing renewed scrutiny. Some critics argue that Diddy's alleged mistreatment of women, including Kim Porter, has set a harmful example for his children, especially Christian.
Okay, look, we've all seen the video, okay? We've all seen the video. I have something just as disturbing to talk about. Hold on. I recently came across this tweet. It is by this writer named Kola Boof. She is an Egyptian Sudanese novelist, and she claims to have been friends with Kim Porter. Kim Porter was Diddy's long-term girlfriend on and off for many, many years and the mother of several of his kids. For a while, her relationship with Diddy and Cassie's relationship with Diddy overlapped, and she claims that she will never forget the time that Diddy tried to get Kim Porter to place Cassie's feminine product in her mouth. Let that sink in. Abuse victims are sometimes very hesitant to come to friends and explain what's going on, right? That's part of the reason they stay so long. If these are the things that Kim Porter was willing to tell her friend about, imagine the things that had happened that no one knew about. Imagine the things that were going on behind closed doors for Cassie and for Kim and everybody else who has been one of his victims. Now, Kim Porter would go on to pass in 2018 of pneumonia. She was 47 years old, and the circumstances surrounding her death have always been mysterious to me. Kim had allegedly been writing a tell-all book on Diddy, and after her death, allegedly 3 of her laptops had gone missing, and they have not been found since. Kola claims that she has been speaking out about Diddy for the last 15 years and that she has, quote-unquote, always held him silently responsible for her young death. I have a full video on Kim Porter's mysterious death. You can go check it out on my page. My heart breaks for Cassie, for Kim Porter. This man I have genuine personal beef with. And like 50 Cent said, I am now fully convinced that Diddy didn't do the things that people are alleging that he did.
As the allegations against Christian Combs continue to make headlines, there has been significant criticism of how the Combs family has managed the situation. Many believe that neither Christian nor Diddy have taken enough accountability for the accusations they face.
All right, y'all wanted to know about Kim Porter's mysterious death, so let's talk about it. Diddy and Kim, who I must say is absolutely freaking beautiful, started dating in 1994 and they had a son, Christian Combs. At the time, Kim and I'll Be Sure had already had Quincy. Kim and Diddy split up in 99 and then they got back together in 2003. In that time period, we know that J-Lo and Diddy dated. However, Kim and Shakir Stewart, who was a Def Jam senior executive, also dated. However, Diddy didn't approve. It's alleged that Diddy ended up confronting Shakir and Kim while they were together. He threw a chair at Shakir, and in the altercation and the fight, Kim ended up having her nose broken. Despite Shakir not going back to work for a few weeks, him and Kim still continued dating, and it is said that allegedly Kim told him a lot of personal information about Diddy. Nobody knows what that information was, but allegedly it was about Diddy's involvement in certain things and additional intimate information about Diddy. Shakir would be found dead in his home with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. After Shakir's death, it's said that Kim started writing a tell-all book on Diddy. With that being said, keep in mind books do tend to take a really long time to write. Kim and Diddy had twins in 2006 and they split up in 2007. Kim went on to Essence magazine to do an interview where she talked about her reasoning for leaving Diddy. She even told Essence that one of her closest friends was pregnant by Diddy around the same time that Kim had been pregnant with Diddy's twins. Kim and Diddy stayed friends. They were good co-parents. She was found dead in 2018. Kim's cause of death was ruled as pneumonia. However, keep in mind, this woman was 47 years old. She had a history of good health. It was rumored that she had finished writing her book at the time. I think Kim's death wouldn't be considered so suspicious if it wasn't for the fact that 3 of her laptops were missing. The police said there was no robbery at her home, so where exactly were the laptops? I'll be sure Quincy's dad and Kim's first baby daddy did go to Instagram after her death, and he, in a now deleted post, said that he believed Diddy was involved in her death. He also said that he didn't believe it was pneumonia, he believed it was murder. For decades, it's been alleged that Diddy has been abusive to his girlfriends in the past, including Kim Porter, and this was confirmed by one of his past bodyguards.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for next time.